Oil hitting another new high this morning, and as Democrats and Republicans fight it out over an energy policy or lack thereof, some oil executives feel caught in the middle of bad ideas. In an exclusive interview this morning, we have the president and CEO of Gulf Oil, Joe Petrowski. Great day for you to be here as oil jumps again, Mr. Petrowski. Do you have maybe Congress doesn't know what to do. We had Boone Pickens on with a plan. Do you have a plan?
Well, I have a plan, and it's not really much different from Boone Pickens' plan. I would, and I think what Boone, I watched a show when Boone was on, and he made a lot of sense. It is both a supply and a demand problem. I think both parties have been really amiss in misleading the public to the point of being nonsensical and non-numeric. You turn on the news and people are talking about speculators and what are we going to do about speculators. And I've used the analogy that it's a little bit like getting rain in your basement and saying, let's discuss how we stop it raining, rather than how do we plug the leak in our basement. It is fundamentally an issue both on the demand and the supply side, and I think both parties have been really lacking in their leadership to get these problems solved.
And the public is quickly changing its mind about a lot of things, Joe, and I don't know if you saw the latest, the Democrats now to answer some of the calls for more drilling, talking about drilling on leases that are already granted to be drilled on. That's the latest thing in Alaska. Is that the right way to go? Is there oil in the leases that you guys already have access to, or do you need new leases opened up?
That's not for the Democrats to figure out or the Republicans to figure out. That's for the market to figure out. The charge that we're not drilling on leases that hold oil is ridiculous. At $145 or $300,000 a day for a drilling rig, there's no non-drilling activity going on. Let the market find that. If there aren't oil on the leases that they're excluding from bidding, then they don't have to worry about the drilling that's going to go on them. If there is oil there, it'll be part of the solution to our long-term problem.
All right, so if you want the market to do it, then what do you need Congress to do to let the market do what it needs to do?
We need a lot of things. I would say, one, let's stop the attacks on ethanol, by the way, and I do understand there's some less than belief in ethanol on the Republican side. Ethanol today, and I don't know if the public understands this, our domestic ethanol production today, and let's put aside how we got there, whether the subsidies made sense or not, but today it represents production on par with the daily production of 3 OPEC nations. So if we start saying we're not going to, we're going to start taking ethanol out of the food, out of the energy supply for food issues, which I think are really a red herring, that's going to hurt us. We should drop the import tariff on Brazilian ethanol. We should try to expand the acreage in the country. We should expand drilling. We should put in some CAFE standards on the demand side and not let price do all the job of rationing. And I know that mandates, R&D, and tax credits for high-efficiency vehicles aren't necessarily the favorite policy of Republicans, but if there's a concerted effort to both attack the demand side as well as the supply side, we can bring down this market, because $145 oil or $180 oil, as some people think we're going to get to, is just absolutely insane and destructive. 85% of the gas stations in the United States are owned by private small business people, and they're getting crushed. Our oil dealers, we sell a lot of heating oil. We haven't seen anything yet. If we go into this winter with $4.50, $5 oil, there are going to be many companies like Gulf and the other wholesalers simply can't sell for credit reasons. We're going to have a crisis on our hands.
What do I mean, all this drilling, though, people say it won't help. We're just talking about and opening up some areas. Will that, even if it's going to be a couple of years before it bears fruit, will that be enough to help prices come down, Joe?
Yes. The oil market really is a market where you have a forward curve and a forward supply. Speculators are in the front of the market or in the back of the market because the forward price of oil is reflecting $138, $140. And the market is well liquid out into 2012 and 2013. If the market suddenly believes that we're going to get serious about attacking this, both from the demand side and the supply side, then I think you'll see the speculators flee, and I think you will see price in the nearby come down on the anticipation that we finally are actually getting serious about addressing this issue. Right now, there's not been a lot of serious talk out of Washington. You pick up the newspaper 2 weeks ago when we banned solar panels from federal lands. One of the governors talks about taking off the mandate for ethanol when ethanol is $1 cheaper than gasoline, which is an absolutely senseless and ineffectual policy. And then the discussion on drilling, I heard a sound bit from, again, one of the politicos who said, well, we tried it in the 70s and it didn't work. And that type of analysis might apply to disco music, but I don't think it's a serious discussion about whether or not we're drilling.
I'd really like to get you going. You're only a little north of where we are. You come down here on the set, Joe?
I'd love to.
All right. And then you have 2 hours. Would you go on? You can go on a rant, right? I guess we could get you to that point.
I'll try to control myself.
No, you misunderstand me. We definitely want you to come down and go off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Petrowski. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.